Hello folks, here we are. Episode 7 of Dykes OFF Bikes. We are running an hour late tonight, and that's all due to our special guest. We've got Renee coming on tonight. Renee leads a hectic lifestyle. I'm sure you all know Renee. Renee is Melbourne's favourite tomboy. I'm sure you've all been to a tomboy party if you're in Melbourne. Who knows where this is going to end up? I'm excited. Oh, look
at
mate.
There you
How
go.
are you? Jeez, I feel a little underdressed.
You know what I'm like, Bangles? I can't do a video without putting on a look.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Yeah, look, I'm going full motorcycle daddy. Like, here I am.
I expect nothing less from you, mate. How are you? You've had a hectic day.
Oh my goodness, I've been screen printing all day and then delivering in the afternoon and then doing a work meeting in one of my other jobs, and now I'm over here with all y'all.
Jeez, mate, you get around despite what they might say.
I've got a bit of a name for myself, doll.
It's all a good name though, isn't it, hey?
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about Sister Eileen Ulick, Joe Erotic. I've got a few names.
A few, definitely. We'll have a chat about all them. So for people that don't know you, who the hell are you? Introduce yourself.
I'm Renee Russo, I guess, when I'm like this. I'm Renee Thompson by birth, but I like to keep my professional and my fun lifestyles as separate as possible for good reasons. Look how I'm dressed.
But yeah, Russo, is it? Because I just call you Russo, but that's the obvious, isn't it?
I just copied it off the actress. My mates in Ireland started calling me Renee Russo. I can't even remember why, actually. And it stuck. And then everyone called me Russo or whatever. Yeah. And I actually just don't like having my real shit online as well. So Renee Russo kind of stuck. But people get confused all the time. I get professional emails addressed to Renee Russo and mail and all sorts. So I don't really mind. Either's fine. But Renee Russo is the more fun version of me.
Okay, right. So you're Renee Thompson when you're at work.
Yes, that's right. In some of my jobs.
Yeah. You've had a lot of different jobs since I've known you. So, you know, before we get into that, let's talk about DOB, the main reason why we're here. And you've been a member for DOB, so only, about 6 months or so now, hasn't it? Because you joined up for Pride Month.
That's right, yeah. I've been wanting to join for a really long time, but I was always working for things like Pride March specifically, and I'd always been working with community health organizations or LGBT community organizations, so I always had other duties on those days, and finally I had some freedom around that, and I was like, it's time. And from a little bit of pressure from the boss.
Come on, mate.
Nah, it was all me.
Yeah.
It's
on you, mate. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, hey?
I don't know about that, Bangles. You served me many's a shot of Fireball.
Oh, we may have shared a few Fireballs once or twice.
I never remember the end of those nights. So the last one was a barbecue at Jem's place where my girlfriend Rachel, hello Rachel, I see you're watching, I wheeled her out of the party on a wheelie esky, and then Jem was videoing it, but she sent me the video and it went black just as I dropped her on the esky. Sorry, Rach. She doesn't remember either.
They're just good times.
Good times. I hope Jem's tuning in.
She is. She's online.
Yeah, if she is here, she should make herself known because I might have a surprise for her.
We've got a few on here. We've got D, we've got Punks, we've got Sev. Yeah, Batesy's on here.
There's Melissa, hello. Lizzie, hi.
Yeah.
Dee's there. What's up?
Your girlfriend's online.
Hey, Flick. Congrats to Flick for passing her L's yesterday.
Yay!
What a boss. I know. Yeah.
So, tell us about the first time when you saw Dykes on Bikes. Where were you? Were you here in Australia or?
No, I would say the first time I seen Dykes on Bikes would have been in Ireland, actually. And also just growing up on TV watching Mardi Gras as a kid, even though we weren't allowed to watch it, and seeing that, I suppose. But yeah, I think it would have been my first ever Pride March, which was in Belfast. But I'm trying to remember now. I don't even know if
Wow.
Belfast have Dykes on Bikes there. It might not have been till Melbourne.
Can we just go back a little bit? You weren't allowed to watch Mardi Gras?
No, I'm from a very
Why? Was that
religious
folks?
family, doll. Yeah.
Really?
Don't want to catch the gay. Whoopsie.
So, so your folks are just like, no, no, nothing.
No,
Not
there's
at
no
all.
such thing as gay in my Bible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And then my parents ended up with gay twins, so.
Oh, and how did they take it?
Oh, look, I've always been a bit of a rebel, so I think that they were just expecting the next thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but me and my brother didn't come out till we were 21, which is quite late in the grand scheme of things.
Me too. I was 21.
Yeah. Yeah, I had been dating boys for a while, and then I didn't discover women until I went to uni in the big smoke, you know. You
Yeah.
get up to I went to art college and everyone was real free there, and I was like, these are my people. Get me out of that country and get me into the city and get me into these birds. Yeah.
So how old were you when you come to Australia?
I was 25. Yeah.
And you've been here ever since?
Mm. I grew up in Australia when I was a kid, but I came back as an adult at 25. Yeah, and I've been here ever since.
And you never go back to Ireland?
Kicking and screaming, they'll have to drag me, doll. There's no way. I love it here. This is my home.
Yeah. And what about your folks? Are they still in Ireland?
Yeah, they're still in Ireland, but we FaceTime and we talk all the time. And
Yeah.
we usually go back every couple of years. I'm supposed to be there right now, actually, but that trip got cancelled. So,
Yeah. I'm supposed to be in Hawaii on my honeymoon, but that didn't
oh,
happen. Stuff.
man, I was meant to be going on this whole Europe trip, Berlin and everything. And I'm like, fuck, maybe I would never have come back. Who knows?
You just never know, do you?
Imagine me walking into a dungeon in Berlin dressed like this. They'd be like, fresh meat.
There's a nightclub over there. Now, Sue's online.
Daddy Sue.
Sue's online.
Daddy
So,
Sue.
Jen, when we're in, I'm sure it was Berlin, there's a club there that you would have been. I can't remember the name of the club. So if you're watching.
Bergen? Berkheim?
I don't know.
Someone on here will know. What's that club in Berlin? Berkheim. How do you say it?
Yeah.
Berkheim?
Yep.
Thank you, 11 Snooze, whoever that is. What's your name? Where do you come from?
That's Sue from the club.
Oh, Sue is 11 Snooze. Daddy Sue.
Yeah.
Ah. Daddy Sue, you need to change your username to Daddy Sue so I know who you are.
And Nina, the puzzle Nina, who's on there now, that is Nina who we stayed with. She lives just outside of Berlin, so we went and stayed at her place. So,
g'day, Nina. How you going?
Mate.
Hello from Australia.
Australia, mate. So, tell us about your bike and what got you riding. How old were you when you started riding? What was your first bike?
Yeah, so I've been riding for about 4 years in total now, including the year of high vis that we all get to experience. You probably didn't need to do that.
No, I wouldn't have.
Flick, you'll know all about that now.
I don't condone that kind of behaviour.
Nah. So I have one of my best mates, Tamara Tuzia. She rode with the Dykes on Bikes a few years ago for Pride March. She was like the first Sheila I knew that rode in Melbourne when I was here. And I was just like, that is so fucking badass. Like, wow. But also thought, oh, I'm too scared. And then Tam like started bringing me to like female moto events and stuff, and they weren't necessarily queer aligned stuff, just all chicks that ride. And then I started to get to know some of the other girls, and it was really good fun. And then went to Sheila's Shakedown, and I was like, I'm getting a motorbike. I don't care what no one says. Yeah. And my ex at the time, she was like, I don't want you to get a motorbike. You're already too unhinged. Like, you're gonna fucking die. Am I allowed to say the F-bomb?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right. So anyway, like everybody does be shitting themselves when they start. And I think that that's the great thing about the female riding community is we're really honest with each other about that. And like, I met all these girls, like I bought a bike and Tam had to like come with me to make sure it wasn't a fucking bomb. She rode it home for me. Whenever I needed to get out of the driveway, I just messaged a bunch of girls and was like, I'm too fucking scared to ride this thing out of the driveway. Will someone come and help me out? And I think a lot of people have experienced that moment where they're like, oh, I've got this bike and I don't know what the fuck to do with it. So yeah, I've always been surrounded by really supportive and sociable girls. And yeah, they really helped me get my confidence. But it started off as a social thing for me. I just wanted to ride and go to all the events. And then I realized it was the best way to get around. And so I ride every day. I don't drive a car. I don't bother. But I'm still riding my first bike, which is a Suzuki GN 250 93.
Great bike.
Yeah, she's 93.
That's big. She'd be able to put that on club plates.
She could be on club plates already, but I ride too often. I'm trying to be all legit and above board. But yeah, she's cute as. I just got new pipes put on her recently, and she sounds rude as fuck. I have to wheel it out of the driveway to start it because the neighbors have babies and they cry when I start it. That's what you want. She was so quiet before, you know, and she's a cute black little bike. She just needed some grunt. So yeah.
So do you reckon you'll upgrade to a bigger bike?
I would like to eventually. I can officially upgrade next month. I get off my lambs, but or is it lambs? Restricted. It's 3 years on restricted now. So yeah, I get off that next month. And before like pandemic happened, I was like, yeah, definitely getting a bigger bike. But now I'm kind of like, Black Betty's all right for another little while until we find out what's happening with work and all that shit, you know. So, yeah, that was why I was like, I'm going to just do a couple of mods on the little girl, make her sound a bit bigger, and then, yeah.
It's such a good bike.
I love her.
I've still got my first bike. I've got a little Virago. It's sitting in the shed.
They're really great learners, but
it's got like a full-on candy apple spray job. The spray job's worth like 20 grand on it. It's ridiculous.
So did you get the spray job done on it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, long story, but yeah, we got it done. But I actually want to donate it to the Pride Centre so they can put it like somewhere in there, like to Alga, because it's sitting in my shed and I'll never ride it. And it's like my first bike I ever rode in Pride March and stuff. So I thought
that's incredible. So there's so much history attached to that bike.
Yeah, there's so much.
The president's bike in the foyer of the Pride Centre. Justine, are you tuning in? Can you hear this? Boss lady.
And I reckon,
Emily, hello.
Because Alga's got some cool stuff, and I thought if I donate it to them and for the Pride Centre, cool.
That's a really cool thing for them to have. If they don't accept that, they're mad. But yeah, that would be amazing. So when was the last time you started her up?
Oh, geez, it'd probably be a couple of years now, probably 4 or 5 years since I've started. It'd go. It just needs a battery and some petrol.
Oh yeah, the batteries don't like to be left off. Betsy, we can hang it above the stairs, mate. Thanks, boss. Thank God you're here.
Hang it above the stairs. Yeah.
To be honest with you, Betsy's like made some pretty cool things happen with that building. Hanging a motorbike's no problem.
Easy.
Easy. Piece of piss for you, Betsy.
Yeah.
So
where's your bike? Can we go and check it out?
Yeah, I actually said to Rachel, do you reckon it'd be real rude of me to like try and do it on the bike? And she was like, it's Dykes OFF Bikes, Renee. And I was like, yeah, true.
No,
also,
I bike.
Don't want to make the babies cry, but I do really want you to hear how good she sounds now.
We start them up every week. Yeah. Does Rach get on the back with you?
Of course she does. But I mean, no, she doesn't. No, not at all. I'm not allowed to take passengers. What do you mean?
We don't condone that behaviour.
No, absolutely not. Get some lights in this place. Here we go. All right. Welcome to my crib. Oh, it might be a bit dark out here for y'all to see her, actually. Hold on a second.
Is it in the shed?
I don't have a shed. I live in Brunswick, though.
You got to move to the country and get yourself
Are
a
you
shed.
light? Yeah, I'll take her clothes off. I like to take girls' clothes off. Hold on. Who have we got tuning in? Hi, April.
Jeez, it's very dark. Is that someone standing behind you?
My right-hand woman's getting a torch. She's all over
Oh,
it. What have you been up to today, Bangles?
Just working really. I've been doing some courses and stuff. So online courses. Yeah.
Couple of?
What was that?
I said you're doing a couple of courses.
Yeah, just online courses. May as well upgrade me skills, you know?
Give it a whack. Do you know what? This torch is fucking shite. Can you?
I think you've lost it. There we go.
This is a bit of a letdown, isn't
it? Do you even have a bike? Yeah. I don't even believe
it's
you.
It's cut logistics. Nah. Hold me out in front of the whole 29 people watching here. All right. This might
Drive
be a bit of a friggin'...
Put the headlights on.
Yeah. Can you see? Oh, fuck me.
Oh, there she is.
There she is. Little Betty, Black Betty.
Yes. What a beauty. Start her up. Let's hear her.
I've got permission of the prayers to start her up.
Yeah. Bit of Brian Adams waking up the neighbours.
Well, I'm dressed like a friggin' leather daddy outside as well, so everyone will be really
dressed like that. Here we go.
Oh.
Nice.
Now, if anyone complains, I'm sending them straight to you.
I'll deal with them.
You will? Thanks.
Yeah. No worries. So what sort of pipes are they?
I would be lying if I knew what it was called. But the blokes at Hellraiser Garage sorted me out with them. I don't know if you've heard about them.
I've heard of them, but I don't know them.
Yeah, they're a new garage that's opened up in Abbotsford. The boys helped us out at Sheila's Shakedown. For anyone that fucked their clutch from doing too many burnouts or anyone that stacked their bikes, they brought the ute down and picked us up. So Leo, who's one of the guys that runs it's a mate of mine, and yeah, they're good fellas, and they're not trying to rip chicks off, you know.
Yeah.
Not that kind of shit.
That's good.
Yeah, so I actually don't know. I think it's like one of those microphone ones. I don't fucking know, but it backfires, and I like it.
They've probably just taken your baffles out and drilled a few holes in them or something.
Honestly, I nearly did that myself, but I actually didn't have a drill. Right, we're back in the office now. I hope that wasn't too underwhelming.
No, that was great.
Emily, are you being a pervert on here? Did you come on here to pick up? Oh, hey, Daddy. See, Daddy TJ's got it worked out. Daddy Sue, tune in.
Daddy TJ.
Daddy with an I at the end. Love it.
So before you mentioned Sheila's Shakedown.
That's right.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, Sheila's Shakedown began as just a bunch of girls starting to go for like a ride and a camp out together. I think the first one only had about 40 women there. And then a couple of the girls that were there were like, we could really make something of this. And, you know, America has babes ride out, but like, what do we have here? And we've got so many Sheilas that ride here. So Remy and a couple of the other girls were like, let's do it. And they had some events background and they kind of had the skills to pull it off. And like, you've been along, it's a bloody good festival. And it's reasonably priced as well. You know, they're not trying to rip people off. So yeah, it's an all-female motorbike festival. Non-binary people can come too. And Yeah, it's a one night camp out, so you don't need to bring like loads of stuff with you. We
Mm.
start off in wherever we're coming from. There's a big ride that comes from Brunswick, right out from Melbourne, and it happens in Balan, which is where is that, like Ballarat direction?
Well, more towards Dalesford. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But basically, it's like 200 odd Sheilas, motorbikes, tattoos, drinking, burnouts,
yeah.
like
It's pretty fun.
madness. It's
Yeah,
wild. Like
yeah,
seriously, I don't know how like we don't have to bring people out in body bags by the end of it. Like it gets nasty. Like my bike got spilled and I was covered in fucking grease and everything from trying to put a chain back on, and then like just crazy shit like clutches breaking left, right, and center from people doing burnouts. A lot of chicks bring up like little monkey bikes and stuff like
yeah,
that, vintage cars, lowriders. Like, yeah,
yeah.
it's good time.
It's pretty mad. So who
Yes.
runs that?
The chick that's running it now is called Rami. I don't
Yeah,
know what Rami's last name is, but it was her and two other chicks that started it off, Riley and Jazz. And Riley moved to Canada, and Jazz, I think, was having a family or something like that. And so Rami was like, you know, we still need to keep this thing going. So there's been a few of us have come in and out and helped to run it, done parts, run bits of it. So it's become a real community thing, which is really good.
yeah. It's bloody awesome. Have they released the dates for it next year yet?
I
They
don't
probably
think so, but
won't.
we got to lobby hard. We
Yeah.
can't not have you there next year.
Oh, it just depends because they put it on. It was the same weekend as Geelong
Still on
Rainbow
Rainbow.
Festival, and I was
Yeah.
gutted. I was so gutted.
So disappointing. Yeah. The year before
Yeah,
it was the same weekend as Gay Times. I think February is just like
yeah,
such a crazy month.
it is. It
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So speaking of events,
Mm.
I'm not and I'm also super stoked for this because I want you to talk about Tomboy and how that started and how important it is for our community. Because
Uh
I think it's unbelievable what you've achieved with that event. And yeah, I think it's really important to talk about.
Thanks, Matt, and thanks for all your support up until now as well. Like, the Dykes on Bikes always make an effort to come to all the Tomboy events that they can make it to, and like, you know, it means a lot to me. And like, even chill out, like having all you girls there was friggin' awesome. But yeah, it all kind of started as me being a very sociable and horny woman, going, where do I go now to like meet chicks? You know, like fuck, there's nothing really left. I think the only thing that
Mm,
was really left was Sundaylicious at that point.
yeah.
And you know, that's like a monthly Sunday thing. And I thought, you know, there's definitely space for something else, but not only something else, but something else that feels a bit more inclusive. And when you start to talk about inclusivity, it gets really complicated, and
Yeah.
you don't want to come across as tokenistic, and you also don't want to upset or offend anyone. So there I was with this challenge where I was like, well, essentially, I want it to be a women-centered event, but I also want to acknowledge that not all women date other women in this space, and not all people who identified as lesbians at one point now I still identify as lesbians, and so
Mm,
on and so forth. So to make a lesbian party felt really outdated. So I thought tomboy as a word is like something that a lot of people can identify with without it being connected to sexuality or gender in any way. And so that was kind of how Tomboy was born. It was like, build it and they will come, hopefully, you
yeah.
know. I didn't want it to end up being overrun by lots of gay boys, even though I love gay boys, but we've been guests in their spaces for so long. So,
Mm,
yes, they're very welcome as guests in our space.
yeah.
But yes, it's women centered. Yeah, for sure.
So so you've been going for what? About 2 years now, is it? Been about two
Yeah,
years.
2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to keep it the event or most of the events free was also something that was really important to me as well, because I
Yeah.
feel like the community are being charged a lot of money to be with their community, and that's really not cool, you know. A lot of people
Yeah.
come and they don't even drink, they just want to meet people.
Yeah, that's right. So
Mm.
why do you think it's worked?
Fuck, that's a good question. I think there was definitely a need for it, and there was lots of other people like me going, where do you go to connect? And we'd kind of all gotten a bit like sick of using apps to try and meet people, and it's a lot of time wasting, you know, when you're in a space and you clock eyes on someone or you feel their chemistry, you know if there's something or not. And like the art of like that kind of stuff was kind of being lost. And so certainly for our generation, we needed something. But it seems like at Tomboy, we really see the whole intergenerational diversity of people there, which is really cool. And
yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on as well and talk about, is because, you know, like I go there and I've been to so many different clubs in Melbourne and that, and some places you walk into and I feel like I'm a relic, you know, but I go into Tomboy and there's all ages there and I don't feel out of place.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm so glad that's the case, and I really wanted that. And I asked a lot of my friends along, and they'd be like, "It's not for me. I'm too old." And I'm like, "Who says? Like, I'm telling you right now, it is for you, and I need you to show up and be there so that other people see you and feel like they belong there too." And so it did. It took a lot of my friends coming along, and I think the music is a big part of it, though. Like the music that we play, there's something for everyone, and not all gay bars really play music that caters for us, you know? So really trying to hit all of those subcultures within our community through the progress of the night and the kind of music that we play.
Yeah. Someone's just put a relics represent.
Emily. Yes, Bish. Yeah, she's an old lady and she's still getting finger banged.
Can't argue with that.
We'll see what reaction we get from that. But yeah, so it's been really wonderful to see that remain, and to see people feel comfortable, and hearing all the wonderful stories about the Tomboy love stories and Tomboy friendship stories of people reconnecting. And yeah, it's been freaking amazing. Every time I climb those stairs, I'm in heaven.
Yeah, it's so good. And you know, like, and I think you got to realize that it's you and your energy that has created that space and that atmosphere.
It's all about Hi Doll, yeah?
Yeah. It's exactly right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi Doll.
Yeah, that's right. So it was about a month ago you did Queer and Teen. Was it Queer and Teen? How'd that go? Because I tuned for a couple of spots.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Well, that was definitely what we wanted from it, was for it to be like the length of time that Tomboy would usually run, so that people can tap in and tap out, come and go as they please. Like the whole idea of having an online party for me was like, it was like already like sex without an orgasm, and I knew that it was never going to be like the real deal, but I also knew that everybody needed something. So I decided, rather than trying to keep DJs live the entire time, that's just a lot of concentration and also bad sound quality coming from your device.
Yeah.
So we got all of the DJs to put a set together on Spotify, and then we built it into one big long playlist so that people could listen from start to finish. And then at the beginning of every DJ set, we would bring them on, we'd have a chat with them like what we're doing now, and they would talk about why they chose their first and their last songs. And we also set them a bit of a challenge to play like a certain percentage of female, non-binary, queer, Indigenous, Australian artists. And all of them came through with that. They played like majority that, and still banging sets, you know. So when we're using platforms like Spotify, we have to think about royalties and where they're going. And we wanted all of the royalties, to go to people who are in our community. So, yeah. And we had some performances as well, yeah.
That's bloody awesome. Did you promote that about your music? Because I think it's a really good point to put out there.
We did one little post about it just to let everyone know that that's what the DJs would be doing. And I think it was really fun for them to have that challenge as well, and not just to go to default music. And they had a lot of fun with it. And they had a lot of, I guess, for Tomboy attendees, they don't usually get the chance to say hi to the DJs, or they're maybe too shy to say hi. And so they got to like see these personal interviews with them talking about why they love the music that they love. And yeah, it was really sweet. And people only had to tune in every couple of hours to see those, and then they could go
Yeah.
back to drinking with their cats and dogs and partners and whatnot.
Drinking in isolation, hey?
Drinking in ISO, yeah. Are you still off it, doll?
Cup of tea.
Cup
Yes,
of tea.
it's actually tea. Look, it's
Yeah.
actually finished. But yeah, so I started a group, as you know, called iSober, because a lot of my friends were drinking a lot at home,
Yeah.
and wasn't a good space for them. So yeah, I created this group, and I've got 113 people in the group. So, and they've pretty much all reduced their drinking dramatically through ISO, which has been a really positive thing. But yeah, I'm in my 8th week. I haven't had a drink, so 2
That's
months.
brilliant.
Yeah, and I feel really good. I'm not saying I'll never drink again, but I just don't think spending so much time at home, for me, because I do love a drink, is a good headspace to be in. So I just thought, stuff it, I'm gonna just stop. So, but now I've gotten to the point where I'm thinking maybe I'll have a year off and give myself a real challenge.
Yeah.
So,
It's really good to challenge yourself in some way. Like everyone's got different things they need to challenge themselves on, and different behaviors they want to check in themselves. Like certainly after hearing your story, it made me check myself, and I sort of went, okay, maybe like I'm in quarantine, I need a drink, everything's really fucked with the world. Then calm down, and I went, okay, maybe I'll just limit the nights that I drink back to Thursday, just between Thursday and Sunday, you know, instead of, oh, it's a pandemic, I must drink every night, even though I'm having a little wine now, but you know, it's a special occasion in a crystal glass, if you don't mind.
It's a very fancy glass.
From a fucking op shop, doll.
It's so good. Yeah, it's you know, it's been an interesting journey the last 4 weeks, because to be honest with you, the first 4 weeks I didn't even realize that I hadn't had a drink. You know, but that's coming off the back of Mardi Gras and chill out. So, you know, I was still kind of sobering up. So
yeah, over it. Yeah.
And then I thought, fuck, if anyone can do it, if I can do it, anyone can do it, you know. But
yeah, you're a bloody leader, doll.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's just about putting your story out there and stuff like that. So I've had a lot of people contact me behind the scenes. Because they don't want to go public on that page, which is completely understandable. But yeah, there's a lot of people and a lot of queer women that I didn't realize around me, friends, and people that I don't know, that have got some real issues with it. And they've starting to reach out to me in ways that I'm not trained to deal with. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not a counsellor, but I'm literally just talking about my story and my relationship with the booze, you know. And it's no secret that I do love a drink. But I've also found too about the perception of, you know, I guess if people think you're just a booze hound, you don't really get taken seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, like
yeah, it's tricky.
Depends what spaces you're in.
Yeah, there's that too.
See, as an Irish person, it's the opposite. If you don't drink, you're fucking like, nah, you're out. That's it. Forget about it. Even if you just have one night where you're the designated driver, they'd hold you down, pour it down your throat.
Well, that's
make you drink, drive home.
Yeah, it's the same here, and that's that culture, isn't it? And it's that pressure, that peer pressure, you know. But look, all I'm saying is sometimes it's bloody good to have a break.
Yeah, for sure. I'm all about big breaks on things. I'm very much about regenerating and trying new things and going back to old things. And I think the ISO has been really good for that for me. You know, like I'm screen printing all these hoodies for Tomboy, and my degree is textiles fashion, so that's something that I haven't done in a little while, and I've been able to find the time now to get creative and like make art again, which is I haven't had time to do that shit in years, you know.
Yeah.
And doing something still for the community within that.
Yeah.
I'm playing music again. Actually, I have something for Gemma Bates if she's still here.
Bates, are you still on the away?
If you're still here, say hello, because you don't have long.
you have to hook me up with one of your hoodies, and I can model it for you on my page.
I love that. Are you an influencer, doll?
I'm an influencer. Watch your space.
You know I'll hook you up with a hoodie. Slide into my DMs later, doll.
Righto.
What didn't
So,
you know, Emily?
have you got any idea when we're going to see a tomboy later in the year? In summertime, probably, with everything that's going on.
By the signs of things, I think it's looking like September before things will be in some way back to like regular pub functioning, you know. So that would be the beginning of the next season for us. And usually in wintertime we have Tomboy After Dark, which we did the first one last year. You were there.
Yeah.
And that was a really important thing for me. Yeah, yeah. As someone who is into kink and likes to explore kink, I've experienced in Melbourne there aren't really any spaces that are for women, non-binary people, and I think that I kept going into these spaces trying to find something. And there's some really great parties that are inclusive, like Fantastic, the Eagle Leather Run. I really like that. But for a lot of people who don't feel confident to explore kink in a new way, going to something as hardcore as that would scare the shit out of them. So I think that Tomboy After Dark, we were opening that up as a space where people could watch a flogging session, you know, they could wear a little less than they normally wear, or wear whatever the fuck they feel sexy in, but in a safe space where they're not going to be preyed upon.
They just took their clothes off when they got to the door.
Everyone just walked in and went, yep, I'm in. And that was great. That showed that people felt really safe and comfortable to do so, and that the music was right, and that the vibe was right, and that the heating was up enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Jacinta and I saw her in the cloakroom, and there was like a queue a mile long.
Doll, you saved my life that night. I didn't realize how many people were going to need a cloakroom. I'm sorry. That was like the worst. But my brother comes up to me and he goes, the president of Dykes on Bikes is in the cloakroom, Renee. And I'm like, thank fuck.
You know,
Megan, like, I can't believe that, like, you know, so that was really amazing. Thank you.
Oh, mate, I'm all about help and community.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a bloody good night. It was
a
good night. It was a good night. So let's go back to DOB and riding a motorbike for a second. So you spoke earlier about Belfast Pride. Have you been in that Pride festival?
Well, I was in that Pride festival like years and years ago when I was like in my early 20s. But I was trying to think if there were Dykes that led that parade, but I don't remember seeing Dykes on Bikes in Belfast. And if anyone from Belfast tuning in, please correct me if I'm wrong. I know there's a Dublin edition, right? But I don't know.
Well, it's interesting because Dykes on Bikes, we're affiliated with our mother chapter in San Francisco. So that's we wear the same back patch. And I think we've got about 22 chapters worldwide. But there's other clubs. So you've got like Sydney, which is they're not affiliated with San Francisco.
Got you.
But you would normally find at every Pride March in every major city, there is some group of women on wheels. And they just get called Dykes on Bikes. But they may not be official chapter or club or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
All I can imagine in Belfast is people on those little mobility scooters, maybe. Like, it's just, you know, it's just not as cool over there. Like, like some pissed old ladies on some fucking mobility scooters. I reckon that's probably what we got.
It's probably changed though, mate. You haven't been there for what, 20 years?
I haven't been there for Pride in over 10 years. Yeah.
So what other prides have you been to?
I've been to San Francisco Pride in 2015, actually. Oh, that's a good story, that one. So you know how they have like the same as here, they have well, no, it's different. They have the Saturday and then they have the Sunday. So Saturday is like Dolores Park. So they basically have Carnival and Pride March on the same weekend. Yeah. Which is fucked because you go too hard on the Saturday, you're in trouble on the Sunday, which is what happened to this guy.
Is that the Dyke March?
Yeah. The Dyke March is on the Sunday. So on the Saturday, like, we're going into this party and they're confiscating, like, street party, they're confiscating all the booze from people as they walk in. So they confiscated the booze in the bins behind them, but it was actually like, as you walked in, you could just like stick your hand in the bin. And so I saw someone get a whole bottle of vodka confiscated, like pineapple flavored vodka. So I watched him put it in the bin and I just went and kept on walking, right? So the rest of the party, I'm drinking straight pineapple vodka from the fucking bottle.
Oh, it's been a mess.
I was in good form, but the next day I had alcohol poisoning, didn't I? I spewed and I shat and I spewed and I shat. And I was in like an Airbnb or something in someone else's house, like stinking the place out. Like it was nasty. It was
You
bad.
sure it wasn't just pineapple poisoning?
Is that a thing? Because I think I had it.
Fuck. It sounds pretty wild.
Anyway, it was a good time, but I actually didn't see the Dyke March because I was like alcohol poisoned.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, we went over. There was 9 of us that went over there in 2013.
Yeah.
And that was the same week that they went through DOMA and Proposition 8 to re-legalise.
Oh, yeah.
So we were in the Castro that night, like, and it was just fucking insane.
Feeling. Oh my.
Mental. So we did the Trans March, the Dyke March, and Pride March 3 days in a row, and it was just fucking crazy.
That's a big session. That's a fucking massive session.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Like,
how many of you went over?
9. Yeah, we're affectionately called the San Fran 9.
Oh God, I don't want to know anymore. Or do I?
Yeah, we had a bloody ball. I think I did 7 Pride marches that year because after San Fran, I ended up down in San Diego, and I did San Diego Pride as well. And we rode in both marches as well. So it's bloody awesome.
Did you just hire bikes when you're there?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's the same place. I think it's Eagle Rider.
Eagle Rider. Yeah, they're great.
We hire them in Sydney as well. I've hired off them, God, heaps of places. They're just easy. Once you're in the system once, you just boom, go there. It's fantastic.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, we were in LA recently, and actually very recently, to the point where we were pretty much forced to come home because of COVID-19. So we were meant to be there for
that you were there.
We were meant to be there for a good friend's wedding. I was a celebrant for them. It was going to be in Palm Springs, and we were supposed to be there for 2 weeks. We were there for 3 days, and we were in lockdown that whole time. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to see if Eagle Rider's open. I'm getting a motorbike. If it's the last thing I do, I'm showing me woman Hollywood, right? So I go in there, and I was like, fuck, I hope they don't check my license and see I'm on unlimited. Didn't check fuck all. So I got one of those little Harley Street 500 boyos, and took Rachel out for a scoot around Hollywood and Beverly Hills. It was real nice. But we had a 3-day trip, and cut very short.
Oh, so you wouldn't have even got to experience the Abbey?
I have previously, yes.
How good is that place?
Oh, it's fucking amazing. All the go-go dancers up in the beams. Hot.
Amazing.
Hot. So many. I was inspired by LA and San Francisco when creating Tomboy. I was like, it needs to be like that shit.
Yeah. I remember when I was in LA, somehow, I don't even know how, but I managed to get into a club, and it was for dudes only. It must have been me swagger. And I walked in there because I had bouncers. I don't know. I just kept going, and I don't know. No one stopped me. And then
all that confidence, dog.
Standing at the bar waiting to get a drink, and I'm thinking, it's just all dudes. Like,
so you hadn't realized.
No, I hadn't realised. I'm just in a world of my own and that. And then the bouncer said to me, he goes, this is a men's only bar. And I said, oh, shit, sorry, mate. I said, can I just finish my drink? And he goes, yeah, no worries. And then I left after that. So they were all fine about it.
Yeah.
You know,
well, some fucking idiot had his eyes painted on at the door.
Yeah, it didn't worry me. They can have their space. Didn't worry me.
Yeah, totally. We got ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just talked about how LA and San Fran inspired you for Tomboy. So who's your inspiration, like, as a person? Is there anyone that stands out? Like, who is your role model?
I don't know that I really had one. I know that the song by Princess Nokia, Tomboy, like really came out around the same time as whenever we started Tomboy, and that became like a thing because it's like revving motorbikes in the background, and it's like some fucking hot little Latina chick or whatever she is. fuck, I just assumed her race. But she's just like, you know, fucking sexy bitch and like owning having little titties and a fat belly. And we're all like, yes, bitch. You know? It's like, yeah. So that was definitely an inspiration, but no one person, but definitely going to queer parties where there was go-go dancers. And that was why I was like, we need to have go-go dancers. We don't have go-go dancers in Melbourne. That's a thing. Like, it's okay to objectify someone who wants to be objectified. It's fucking good. People like it.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the best queer club that you've ever been to?
Shit, probably the Abbey, I reckon.
Yeah, was
the Abbey was amazing.
In 2015, you're talking about?
Yeah. So West Hollywood, for anyone who doesn't know, the Abbey, it's an amazing place. Just like everybody's really fucking friendly there as well. I loved that you could go there and just make friends with everyone. You know,
the drinks are cheap and there's so
cheap
much
and strong. Yeah, cheap and strong, and sexy go-go dancers swinging from the beams all over the place. And there's boys and girls, and it's fucking good time.
Yeah, it's a great space. It really is. Yeah. So, and I know that you're very open and honest and everything. We love that. But tell us something that we don't know about you, because we know a lot. But tell us something we don't know.
But there's heaps probably. But did we find out if Betsy was still here? Because this would play in quite nicely to the surprise I had for her. Betsy, if you're here, make yourself known. No. Okay. All right. I'm a world champion drummer.
A world champion drummer.
Yeah. I spent all of my childhood up until I was 21 playing in competition pipe bands. And
have you got sticks? You can give us a paradiddle.
I'm not drumming live on Instagram.
Come on.
No way. No.
A little bit. Come on.
Dude.
Come on.
Give me a minute. I'm not wearing any knickers.
You just happen to have a set of sticks right there.
No, I have to do it with a chicken doll. If anyone's ever met me, they'd know that I'm a very organized person.
You just had a set of sticks handy. Come on. Have you played with Ellie?
Paradiddles?
Yeah.
I love how you know what a paradiddle is.
Yeah, because I'm a drummer too. Bet you didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, what do you want?
I need a kit though. Jesus, look at that.
I haven't played in years.
Can't tell.
Yeah. That was in 2004, so does Sister Eileen Ulick play the drums? Because that would be mad. Do you reckon?
Oh, that was absolutely mental. I'd love it.
Well, because I come from a religious family, I used to play in all the church bands, you see. So I thought that Sister Eileen could incorporate guitar into a performance sometime and maybe like singing in tongues.
Yeah, but guitar's a bit kind of cliche. To me, there is nothing sexier than a woman that can drum and sing at the same time.
A nun drumming and singing?
Fuck, I don't know about a nun, but just a woman that can drum and sing at the same time, like, it's just unbelievable.
Right, okay, well, I'm going to have to let you down and tell you I can't sing.
Do you? Just because you can't doesn't mean you shouldn't.
No, well, I can sing. I fucking sing all the time, but I'm not, Dolores from the Cranberries, all right?
Oh, I'm sure you could do something pretty. You could sing more like her than what I could.
I don't know. You can yodel.
Well, there you go.
That's a lie. That's a blatant lie. Yeah. So there you go. Was that a surprise?
It was actually. What a nice surprise. I can't wait for Sister Eileen Ulick. Tell us about the birth of Sister Eileen Ulick. How did that come about?
That came about probably very stoned and drunk, I'm assuming. I was inebriated in some way. And I pulled out my guitar and I started playing all these like Hillsong songs to my brother when we were really fucked. And Mark just lost his shit. He was just like, how do you remember all that? I'm like, dude, I played them every Sunday for like all of my childhood, and I'm like singing in tongues and shit, like la 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 la, see la 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 la, and Mark's just fucking losing it, and he's like, I smell a performance, and I was like, I just think that you need to have been in those churches to really get that. I'm like,
Yeah.
definitely something blasphemous.
Mm.
So I've always thought that like latex nuns were really sexy. And so I was like, why don't I just be one? And then kind of write the new gospel according to Sister Eileen Ulick, the queerest nun there is. Yeah.
How'd the name come about?
I get very creative when I have smoked the doob. Like sometimes I'm like, whoa, that was good. Write that down. And then I don't. Yeah. I need witnesses sometimes.
Classic.
Good though, right?
When we were at Chill Out, when you did the performance there, we walked in like pretty much just as it started. And I remember, like, because people were just, like, you know, mingling, talking, and then the whole crowd just went silent, just straight up to the stage. And everyone,
Yeah.
I'm watching, because I'd seen you do that performance a few times, and I remember the first time when I saw it, and it was just, like, quite...
The first ever tomboy.
Yeah, it was, like, quite full on, you know, like, and I remember, like, when I was at Chill Out, I was watching people to watch their reactions that might not have seen your performance before, and it was unreal. Like, and everyone's just like, "Fuck!" It was so good.
It's that choir music that begins that gets everyone's attention. They're just like, "Where the fuck am I? What's happened?"
Yeah, I know, unbelievable, so good.
Oh, I'm glad it's still got the shock factor.
Yeah, so good. Have you got anything more in planned for Sister Eileen? Is she gonna do something different?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been putting any energy into Sister Eileen and ISO. But maybe I should. Maybe that's the next project. I've actually started writing erotica. But true stories. So that's my next project. Sharing all my smut with the world.
Jeez, look out. Look out, girl.
Apologies in advance, man.
That's right. We're just about running out of time, actually. I just checked it. Yeah, we've only got a couple of minutes left. So is there anything that you wish that other people knew about Dykes on Bikes Melbourne?
Yeah, the one thing that I always like to tell people, because nobody really knows, is that Dykes on Bikes historically have been such an important part of our queer history. And, you know, way back in the day, whenever it wasn't safe to be LGBTIQ, Dykes on Bikes were there to protect the community. And, you know, that's why we have to show Dykes on Bikes, especially people who have been involved in Dykes on Bikes for a really long time, the respect that they deserve, because, you know, without Dykes on Bikes, a lot of people wouldn't be here right now. But also, like, dykes aren't scary. Stop being scared of dykes. They're like, you know, think about all those big scary biker blokes you meet. They're all lovely. It's the same with Dykes on Bikes. I used to think, you know, that you had to be specifically like, you know, dyke identifying in a mask kind of way to be with Dykes on Bikes, you know. And it's really nice to know that that you guys are really accepting, and you don't have to identify in a particular way or subculture to be able to be part of Dykes on Bikes. So I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah, well, women who love women, over the years we've evolved, and the community and the labeling and everything is just constantly changing. And if the club is going to survive, we need to evolve with it.
Yeah, totally.
And you know, we're just a bunch of queer old women that want to ride our bikes and hang out with their mates and have fun.
You like to ride, yeah.
Get out there and ride.
Yeah.
So you ride every day. I haven't ridden for a little while. I'm looking forward to getting out and having a ride once all these bans are lifted. So I think we're going to organise a ride soon.
Yeah, lovely. I'm keen.
It'll be good.
Yeah, I've been finding, like, not every single day in ISO, but I've been finding excuses to get out to the shops, make sure I put my backpack on in case the cops pull me over. But as I said, like, we're making tomboy hoodies. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're making tomboy hoodies, and instead of relying on Oz Post and how fucking slow they are right now, I'm hand delivering them to everyone that gets them. So we've just done a lot. I stopped orders so that I could actually get them all made and get them out, and we'll open up again for people who want to get them. I'll give you a little look. See, here's one.
There was a few people online wanting to know how they get them. So how do they get them?
They message me, and I will sort it. Slide
All
into
right.
me DM stalls. So we
Yeah.
got black and red and a pastel pink, sort of like this shade.
Oh, I want the pink one.
Do you?
No.
You look like a fucking Care Bear, man.
Big hugs.
I can't wait to hug everyone again. How nice is that going to be?
I know.
Yeah.
Won't be long. All right,
Yeah.
well, we're going to have to wrap it up. We're going to get...
Been bloody awesome. Thanks for having me, dog.
Oh, anytime, mate. You're bloody life of the party. You know that.
I can't wait to squeeze you all and freaking dirty dance with you all.
Yeah, it's going to be good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully next tomboy will be a massive big reunion. We won't even be able to get in the door. There'll be that many people.
You'll probably have to keep telling me to put my clothes back on. Thanks, punks, moto moments. I don't know who you are, but love you too. Is that Remy? Oh, thanks everyone for tuning in. We still got 21 people.
I know.
Hello, Phil.
It boots us off after an hour, so it's going to boot us off in a minute.
Well, thanks, doll. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much
everyone.
for joining us. We'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Give my love to Tennille as well.
Will do. Thanks, mate.
Bye.
See you soon. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Next week, we have episode 8 of Dykes Off Bikes. So tune in next week. We'll send the details. We'll put them all on our Instagram and Facebook page, all the details for that, and who we're going to interview. We've got some guests. I think we might even have some interstate guests next weekend. So stay tuned. This episode with Renee will be up online in the next couple of days. So if you want to watch it again, jump online and send us some comments, send us some love. And if you've got any questions or anything you need to know about the club, send them through and we'll do our best to answer them all. Thank you. I've been Jo Bangles and this is episode 7 of Dykes Off Bikes. See you next week.